And it seems we are ready to go for the next game. fastatcc, the runner, the legend, is going to play oh wait, wrong game. Hollow Knight for you. Take it out, Fastat.
I've been playing a non-Mega Man game in a marathon, but first time for everything, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I guess I'll just go ahead and get started. This is Hollow Knight. This is a game I just played recently, one of my favorite games. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. So, yeah, this game is beautiful. It's an indie Metroidvania that came out last year. One of the best games, like along with probably Breath of the Wild in the last couple of years, that I just think is an incredible game. So, I mean, like most Metroidvanias, your progress is going to be gated by upgrades that we're going to get throughout, and that's going to allow us to get to different areas of the game. We're not going to have to go quite everywhere, because there are some pretty nifty skips in this game that allow us to bypass some things. So, no softball. So there are a lot of actually different categories in this game. What we're going to be running is any %, no major glitches, which is, I think this is the first time that this has been run in a marathon. At SGDQ, there was a glitchless run, which is basically the predecessor to this category. Glitchless isn't run anymore. One of the glitches you'll see, so this is not considered a major glitch, but right here, we're going to open the inventory menu and close it. We're going to see that a little bit throughout the run, and that has some multitude of benefits. What we used it for there is whenever we take a long fall, typically what's going to happen is we're going to get stunned and not be able to walk right away. Opening the menu and closing it allows us to just move right away, so yeah, just helps with movement a little bit. In addition, you actually fall faster, and we're going to see this in this next screen while you have the menu open. There's some luck in the early part of the game. We're going to hope that no enemies get in our way here. Beautiful. So just dropped clean through. Not always quite that lucky, but marathon luck taking on a different meaning here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go get a fireball spell. Alright, beautiful. So we can kind of manipulate those enemies. They are random, but they respond to your movement. So if you move correctly, you can kind of group them up, so we can clean them up a lot quicker. Anyway, so talking more about the fireball spell, that does a couple things for us. It's going to be kind of our bread and butter damage throughout the run. The nail attack that you see me doing right now, you can upgrade that in, if we were playing casually, we could upgrade it up to 4 times. Here, we're not going to upgrade it at all. So rather than get up to the 21 max damage your nail can do, we're going to stay at 5 nail damage throughout the whole run. Alright. The fireball spell that we're about to get, after we fight our first boss, is going to do 15 damage. We're also going to pick up a charm later in the run that ups that damage to 20. So, big difference between being able to do 5 and 20. Fireball is going to be where we're going to hope to get the bulk of our damage in. First boss fight coming up here is the False Knight. A lot of people that played this game casually probably don't know this, because I sure as heck didn't. You actually don't have to do this whole fight. Man, I got the scurry jump there, where he did the big jump backwards. Anyway, so there's supposed to be 3 phases here, but if you pay attention to the wall on the left, you can see that the support breaks there. That's actually put in by the developers, so that allows us to just skip the fight. It's a boring fight anyway, so glad to be rid of it. Anyhow, the detriment to skipping that fight is twofold. One, we don't get the city crest, so we can't take like the normal path into the City of Tears. We have a workaround for that, so that's fine. We also miss out on some money, but there's faster geo to get elsewhere, so that's fine too. So yeah, here we have the Snail Shaman, and we're gonna go ahead and get the Vengeful Spirit. So anyway, in addition to doing damage, we're going to use the Vengeful Spirit in this next section in a couple of different ways. It's intended to use this to be able to clear the Elder Balders that block our path, both at the end of this like little kind of tutorial section, I guess you could call it, where you're like supposed to get used to having this new spell. And it also, there's an Elder Balder that blocks the way into green path, which we're going to deal with this spell as well. Oops. In addition to that, we're going to use the Fireball to interesting effect in green path to skip a couple, make a couple jumps that we wouldn't be able to otherwise. What is that guy doing? So we need this guy to spit a little mini Balder at us like that. These guys are moving weird. I hope I'm on the right patch. I guess we'll find out later. All right. So anyway, we're clear of that area. We're gonna head into green path now. Right now I have 38 geo, which is kind of on the low side. The geo routing in this route is pretty tight, but there's a lot of opportunities to kind of fix it if you're below at the end of the run. So I always keep track of it just to see where I'm at, but it's not really critical. It's more just to, you know, see how far out of my way I want to go. All right, not bad. So I'm hitting enemies along the way like that to gather soul. So the way that soul works in this game. All right. Anyway, that's a little glitch where you can actually fire from off screen. The fireball lingers in its hitbox. It's supposed to have to hit him 4 times. Ah, we made it. Okay, so there's going to be some fireball skips there. There we use the recoil from the fireball and the fact that it stops our falling speed to actually make that jump. We're not supposed to be able to make that. Anyway, so I'm going to be trying to hit these enemies and gather soul on the way, hopefully without slowing down too much. And the soul meter's in the top left. You can see it's like half full right now. If I have a full soul meter, that means I can cast 3 fireballs. That's the max I can have currently because we're not going to be getting any upgrades. Second fireball skip coming up here. Whew. Those ones are kind of scary. And there's going to be one more of those that we have to hit. Okay. So anyway, the trade-off with the soul is you need to use that for spells. All right, we got all 3. I'm pretty happy about that. All right.
A good time to read a couple donations?
Yeah, go for it.
So Augendrasser, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, donates $20 and says, "Good luck. Have fun with the run, Fast. Hope you can top your time in this hard run. Watching you snake your way through the shadows has sparkled my interest in Hollow Knight. It's so impressive to see this movement. It's crazy to see you're threading the needle with ease."
Thank you.
Shelly donated $25 and says, "Please, Lemire, save the grub."
No, Chelny.
Why?
Thank you, Chelny. All right, am I good? Okay, so we're gonna we got our fan favorite Zote here. You can hear him. He's just shouting encouragement at me, but we're gonna unfortunately leave him in his current predicament because I think he's got it handled. He'll probably be fine. So thank you for the encouragement, Zote. See you on the other side. Okay. All right. Anyway, so basically you heal and you cast spells from the same pool. So hopefully we are able to not take a lot of damage. We can use our spells for maximum effect to do damage rather than to have to heal. Okay, so we're going to try to stagger Hornet and then get her caught in something of an AI loop. Okay, cool. So, like, every time after a stagger, she'll jump, and so I just match her jump and try to hit her as much as possible. That went okay. Hornet isn't hard. Are you kidding me? Okay, so now we're going to do our first save and quit. There's a few in the run. The benches act as checkpoints. So by saving and quitting, we're going to go back to the bench rather than have to backtrack all the way through Green Path. The upgrade that we just got there is the dash, which you're going to see very shortly. The dash is much faster than walking, so getting that early makes, obviously, a lot of sense. The movement really picks up once you get the dash and then the wall jumps. So the wall jump is where we're going to head next. And the dash and the wall jump are going to be like our bread and butter for movement throughout most of this run. Anyway, so we're going to go through the Fungal Waste here. I actually really like the movement in this section. It's not right. There's a couple skips in this area that are going to cut out as having to go around. The first one is the explosion Pogo. I love the sound effects for these guys. Unfortunately, that's the only time we're going to see him in the run. So the explosion Pogo, you'll see when I get there, but we're going to Pogo off an explosion. I don't know where us speedrunners come up with the names for these things, but luckily whoever named that one pretty much got the essence of trick. And that's going to allow us to skip a pretty significant part of the Fungal Waste and go straight towards the wall jump. All right, so we're going to set it up here by trying to position ourselves correctly. And we got it. So, whoops. We did take some extra damage here. So the next one is the Mantis Pogo. This one's harder. We're going to try to manipulate this third Mantis to be exactly where we want him to be. And we got it. That's good. That one I'm always a little bit nervous about. Again, like, their movements are random, but you can kind of manipulate them. If you do that right, he's pretty much always going to be in the same spot as long as your movement is consistent. Anyway, so we're going to save and quit again to go back to the last bench, and we're going to move on from the Forgotten Crossroads. So now we're armed with the dash. We have the wall jump. Now we're ready to start tackling some of the storyline stuff. So a mandatory story item that we need is the Dream Nail. That is in the resting grounds, where typically it would be a long trek from where I am now. But we're gonna set up another skip here. And what I really like about this glitchless category is, like, the little skips that we've seen so far, it's all just using intended mechanics in ways that are just slightly outside of the way that the developer expects us to do it, and allows us to skip things. This is going to be the biggest skip, or at least the biggest skip we've seen so far. And it's going to use a mechanic of this game. What am I doing? It's going to use a mechanic of this, the death mechanic of this game. So we're going to be taking an intentional death soon. Right now, there's not a ton going on, though, if you have any donations.
Absolutely. Simo donated $10 and says, "Good luck with the run fast. Glad to be supporting. Shout out to the Hollow Knight Discord and community cheering you on."
Thanks, Simo. The Hollow Knight speedrun community has been amazing. Just so helpful. So thanks, everybody, for all your support.
Danielson 144 donated $5 and says, "Hey fastatcc, Tombo 14444 says hello and good luck."
Thank you, appreciate it. All right. So this is just kind of like a little mini boss. Oh, no. The hardest part is. Whoops. The hardest part is lining them up for the fireball, and I said it was the hardest part, and I messed it up, so proof of concept right there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to buy the Shaman Stone. If you play this game casually, mixing and matching your charms is a really big part of it. Here, that's just a little too slow to get the extra charm slots. So we're going to buy one charm, we're going to fit it into the slots we already have, and we're going to go with it. This one ups our magic damage, which is, again, pretty important. Raising the damage of the fireball spell from 15 to 20 is significant. All right, so now you saw me take damage on the way here. and now we're going to take an intentional death. What this is going to do is it's going to spawn a little ghost that carries all my money. So I need to kill this ghost, but I'm also going to use him to access an area that I shouldn't be able to get to quite yet. He was nice and didn't fireball me, so yeah. This area is somewhere that you're usually going to find from the other way. Once you've gone through City of Tears and come up, through the Resting Grounds, or however you get there, maybe through Crystal Peak. And usually you're going to find that little shortcut the other way. But this time we're able to get here, and we're going to get to the Dream Nail without having to go through any of that other stuff. The Dream Nail is pretty important. It's required to beat the game. You need to Dream Nail the Dreamers. Basically, I guess we can kind of talk about the plot, or at least what I need to do to beat the game, which is we need to destroy all 3 Dreamers to break the seal on Hollow Knight. And then we'll be able to fight Hollow Knight, and that'll be our victory. So in order to visit the 3 Dreamers, we're going to need to get the Dream Nail first. Shout out to Trinomi, by the way, who figured out there was a soft lock here that we know how to avoid now, because that plagued me a lot in my early runs of this game. So I'm gonna just kind of showcase what we would do in a normal run. We normally do our runs loadless, so this actually causes the little moth to spawn faster. It's a little bit slower in real time, a little bit faster with loadless time, but just to kind of show it. This part's pretty hard. Falling here is not that costly, like, not as much as you would think, but I still don't want to fall here, so, alright. Anyway, so we got our Dream Nail. So at the start of the run, I didn't really have time to explain it, but there's a couple points in the run where you can actually press start and unpause and regain control. We call it the seer skip here because you're going to see... So, I dashed out when I was supposed to be, in this state right there. And so I just fall while, in that, waking up animation, basically.
You seem to be sleeping on the job here.
Yeah, I got that right. No time to sleep now, though, because we're going to go fight probably the hardest boss for anybody that's tried to speedrun this category. So first we're going to have some movement through the City of Tears. At this point, what we're really focused on is gathering Geo. That's kind of the point between now and when we fight the boss. You're going to see me go out of the way to pick up a couple of items. These are relics I'm going to sell for money. And then I'm also going to try to kill some enemies along the way to pick up money there as well. If you do have any donations, feel free to go ahead.
Brian Garcia donated $10 and says, "Is this a Balls of Steel Soul run?" Shout-outs from the Hollow Knight Discord, and good luck on Umu, by the way.
No, there's only one man that's ever been good enough for Balls of Steel Soul, and that's not me. Alright. I'm hoping those guys line up on one side, so I can collect as much money as possible. So anyway, after we get through this section, we're going to be fighting the Watcher Knights. Which, I mean, for the main storyline stuff you have to do in this game, I think is considerably harder than the final boss. It's a really, really fun fight, super fun to practice, but if I'm going to die in this run, and there's a few places where I definitely could, this would probably be the #1 spot where I'm most likely. I did take a bench right there. If you don't take a bench at all and then die to Watcher Knights, it puts you back where you do the Shade Skip. But unfortunately, you can't get to your Shade without doing the Shade Skip again, so you would lose all your money, which would be disastrous. So at least you need the bench somewhere. What are we doing? That guy drops 420 Geo. That's probably not an accident. Oh, okay. Alright. Those guys actually do 2 damage if they hit you with the swing. Most stuff does 1 damage in this game, but there are some things that do 2, and you got to be really careful. Towards the end of the run, there's an enemy that that'll do 2 damage to you, and you got to be really careful not to get hit with that attack. Take a chance to heal on the elevator there. Okay, so that you're supposed to need the double jump for, but you can actually pogo off the background scenery and still make it. Yet another not major glitch. We can hit that lever through the wall, and I just can do the rest of that from memory there. All right, so getting close to Watcher Knights here. I have full health and I have close to full soul. You definitely want to have as many resources as you can before you take on this fight. And I was able to do the lever skip, so I guess I'm on the right patch. Oh, I don't even need to do that. Anyway, so the little chandelier I dropped, there's supposed to be 6 of these guys, but now there's 5. I killed 1 before even having to fight him. Okay, so now they start spawning 2 at a time. The first guy is just kind of a warm-up. This is where the fight starts to get pretty hectic. Oh, okay. So when they roll away like that, I can actually get multiple hits with the fireball. Because the fireball... Okay, that's not bad. The fireball stays in their hitbox as they roll away, so you can get up to 3 hits, which is 60 damage, as opposed to the 5 that I'm getting with the nail. I'm mostly hitting them with the nail just to try to refill the fireball. Okay, I was a little bit more aggressive there because I had a lot of health going into the end, so I just tried to position myself to get some extra hits in. I'm pretty happy with that. I really was kind of afraid of that fight, so thank you. That's definitely a big hurdle down. There's a lot of scary stuff still left in the run, but that's like, when you're doing attempts at this game, that's the point where you have to, it's like truth or... I don't know what I'm trying to say. Truth or consequence? Truth or dare? I don't think so. But anyway, something where that's the point where you know you have a run. It's a make or break? I don't know. Words are hard. So now we have a run. Dying there would have cost me a lot of time, so we're through that. Okay, so this is our first Dreamer. I mean, they're basically innocent, but what's happening in the game is there was a Hollow Knight that is being corrupted. Sorry, there's a Hollow Knight that has corruption inside him, like there's an infection that he was created to contain, but he is defective and is starting to leak this infection throughout the world, and we see all these things that we're fighting have been like infected by this madness. So the Dreamers have sealed the Hollow Knight away, but the Hollow Knight's no longer effective, so we're killing the Dreamers to break the seal, and we're going to go solve the Hollow Knight problem ourselves. Okay, so we still need money here. This is going to be the last relic that we're going to collect. I'm a little low, but not in too bad of a shape there. Now that we have all our relics, we're going to go find Lem, who pays a lot of money for relics for some reason, like a lot. I found him late in the game, and I was shocked by how much money I got from all the stuff I turned in. If you have time for another donation.
Absolutely. Yeah. Big Fuong Balls donated $30 and says, hello.
Big's trademark greeting. Thanks, Big.
Also, a quick reminder that we are still in the race for choosing which path will be chosen in Internal Darkness. Right now, the green path is leading by $10 only. So keep these donations coming in if you want to have a different path chosen.
So for the people that played this game casually, you probably found Lemon in his shop before you fought the Watcher Knights. But after killing the Watcher Knights, he actually goes out to the fountain. So we need to talk to him there before he comes back here. Somehow he beat us back here. I don't really know how. Somebody suggested that he has a dream gate and he dream gated back in. That's the best working theory I have at the moment. But if anybody has a better idea, I'm open to it. Anyway, so now 1 dreamer's down. We still need to kill 2 more. But in order to do that, we're going to need another upgrade. We're going to go get the Super Dash, the Crystal Heart as it's called in this game. Ah, that's not right. So this, you kind of expect that you would need to get Isma's Tear in this game, which allows you to swim in some of the acid that we've seen, because there's acid blocking one of the dreamers, but you can actually use Super Dash to get in there. So it's kind of like an either-or thing for the speedrun. As of now, the Crystal Heart is the faster of the 2 upgrades to get, so that's where we're going. Also, Crystal Heart definitely helps with movement. You'll see it used a lot once we get it to traverse like long, empty sections. Oh, okay, so sorry. So the geo that we've collected so far, you see me paying to unlock a stag station, which is like this game's fast travel. The other thing that you have to actually open the door. Doesn't just let you through. We're gonna use it to buy the Lumafly lantern here. This costs 1,800, so it's like a big part of what we get money for. This allows us to see when we go into Crystal Peak to get the Crystal Heart. A lot of the common misconception is, well, I mean, you don't have the lantern, but you can still do the stages in the dark, right? Like just memorize it. You're a speedrunner. I mean, that's a little harsh, but yeah, it's not. Unfortunately, we probably could do the screens that way, but there's a toll to enter the Crystal Peak, and in order to be able to actually even interact with it, you need to have the lantern. So like this room is dark, but the lantern allows me to see this. It wouldn't let me interact with this, so we wouldn't be able to get in here otherwise. You can get in here with the Desolate Dive, but that would involve fighting another boss that would just be slower than getting the Lumafly lantern. This section's beautiful. The music, the design, the way you move through here, I really enjoy this part of the speedrun. There's gonna be some like kind of tight cycles that we're gonna try to hit, but they're difficult. So see if we have any luck here. Oh, that's wrong. I'm just gonna reset this because I actually want to try to get the cycle. Ah, alright, never mind. And then here we're going to try to go through pretty quick too. Okay, well, never mind. I hate this section. I thought I liked it. But I was mistaken. So we have 2 health left. We're going to want to take a damage boost on the last section. So having 2 here is pretty critical in order to set up the last little push to the Crystal Heart. This is like one of the game's big platforming gauntlets. But it should be the same as long as my inputs are good. Alright, so we're through. 1 health is all you need. We're going to do a save and quit after this, so luckily my health will be filled up and we're all good to go. So the question is, like, why do we need the stag stations? There's some places where it seems like a save and quit would be wise. Unfortunately, after the Dreamers, the game resets your spawn point. So like we actually needed to take a stag in a couple places where we would love to just be able to save and quit out, but it would actually just put us at the place where we just were. Okay, so now we're going to every speedrunner's favorite boss. We're going to go see Umu. Casually, he's the easiest fight we'll see in this speedrun, probably. What am I doing? That's not right. Okay, well, that's fine. Hopefully, we're going to not take damage anymore. Actually, we'll bench before Umu, so we'll be fine either way. here we're going to see the first of our 2 acid skips. This one should be easy. Oops. Okay. We're going to do another one that looks like that, but is much, much more difficult later. Alright. I'm going to be bold and super dash here. Sometimes you get knocked out of your dash, but I didn't there. So yeah, Umu's a decently easy casual fight, but in the speedrun, if you do like basically a perfect fight, you can get a 2 cycle. And 2 cycles are really hard. Like pretty much one mistake will stop you from being able to get it. So gonna go for it. I'm not really expecting to get it, but there's no harm in trying. Hopefully we can settle for the 3 cycle. The reason why I took the bench there in case I died is that a lot of times it's easier to damage boost to kind of help position him. And so I want to have as much health as I possibly can do it. And the fact that I'm damage boosting means there's definitely a chance I could die if the fight goes awry. Okay, so there's a lot of randomness to this fight. We're trying to stand in specific spots to manipulate him around. I think he's going to do... Yeah, he's a jerk. So he's going to do an extra movement here. He can actually do an extra attack. There's some movement things that govern it. Ah. Okay, so we're definitely not getting a 2 cycle. That's not right. This fight is like... It's very doable if everything lines up. As soon as something breaks, this fight becomes... Oh, no. This fight becomes really hard to get back on script. Because the whole point of the fight is we're trying to manipulate him around the platforms so that he's wedged in the platform when we do our damage combo. Hopefully I can get like a decent one here and kind of give an idea. Oh, I didn't have enough soul for it, but that was basically it. He gets stuck in that platform, it doesn't get pushed away. Don't die here, please. I died! Okay, that's fine. That's why I took the bench before him. We get a second shot at the 2 cycles, so at least there's that. Silver linings, of course. If you have any donations, hopefully nothing about Umu.
Nothing about Umu, thank God.
Okay, thank you.
LVR donated $20, and I think it's a donation for me, actually. He says, read my donation with your sexy voice, my lion. The reason why it's my lion is because my avatar is a lion. That's why.
Yeah, I don't think that was about my sexy voice.
You do have a sexy voice. Don't be shy.
Oh, thank you. Anyway, yeah, you can kind of see why there's a lot of speedrunners that don't like this fight. There's a lot of waiting around, and then it's just kind of, I don't know. What is wrong? Well, I'm showing off just about the worst ways that Umu can go. I'm in a similar position as last time, so hopefully we pull through here. Just don't want to die. Nah, we're not gonna do another dream now. One away. Okay, that's fine. He died. That's fine. I don't have to do that fight again.
Easy.
Thank you for the pity applause. It was well warranted. Now we just need to not be an idiot and die with 1 health after killing Umu, because that would be quite a shame. Okay, so anyway, we found our way to the second Dreamer eventually. The sad thing is, after you're done with this, you actually have the hardest part of the game. Between here and the next Dreamer is definitely the part of the game that I find to be the most difficult. It starts with one of the second acid skip that I was talking about earlier. So the acid skip, you basically have a very small portion of the wall that you can try to grab onto. It doesn't look that bad, but the portion of the wall that it'll actually allow you to grab onto and do a super dash off of is smaller than you would think, and then the timing window for jumping out on the other side is smaller than you would think as well. So in my PB, I got the skip on the 3rd try. So I'm gonna I'm hoping to just not chain fail it, to be honest with you. So expectations are low going in. I never even learned the alternate route that goes through Deep Nest. So we're married to this Queen's Garden acid skip. Whether this speedrun marathon is able to, whether I hit my estimate or not, is going to be dependent on whether I can get this skip. So no pressure or anything. All right, so we're going to try to gather soul on the way. A big part of this is that we're going to have to take mandatory deboosts in this, and there's no healing. All right. Yeah. See, that's going to be a little low. So I'm going to collect some soul here. There's something a little different about the timing that I can't quite put my finger on. But yeah, I'm a little late on these. So we'll go ahead and heal up and try again. I really wanted to get this skip. First of all, because like it's just something I do in my runs. I don't really have any other alternate strats for this. All right, whatever. Let's just go. But I think the timing's a little different than what I'm used to, so I'm trying to figure this out on the fly. Okay. So I'm glad that, you know, I talked it up as being difficult and then got to show you how difficult it was. There was kind of like a full narrative that went on there. I kind of told a story and then did the whole show don't tell thing, so. Except I guess it was more show and tell. Anyway, so we're through that part. This section doesn't get really any easier after that. We're gonna do this Mantis Arena here, which we're gonna try to get some really specific timings on our fireballs to get double hits. Okay, awesome. That can be a real mess if you don't get those fireballs lined up right. And their movement pattern is, again, a little bit random, so trying to get those fireballs at the right height is not free at all. Sorry, I guess I kind of glossed over that what? I took damage in a zone where it doesn't quite set your hazard respawn in the right place, and so it put me down to the lever rather than having to go around. Again, we're talking minor glitches. Why? I didn't think you would be there the second time. All right, so we're gonna try to navigate these platforms and trying to gather soul along the way too. I'm gonna heal up a little bit. But yeah, what I meant is like there's no benches in between, so anytime that you're having to heal here, you're having to also gather your soul back, because the end of the split is actually probably the hardest part in the run. And so once you're through, what am I doing? There we go. once you're through the Queen's Garden acid skip, the rest of the section is kind of a lead up to getting through the area before the last Dreamer, which is Beast's Den. There's some random moving enemies in there. There's a couple of like damage boosts that you want to take to try to make things faster. So you want to try to get there with full soul to try to kill these enemies called Devouts, which we haven't seen yet, but we'll see soon. And then on top of that, we want to have as much health as possible because we're going to be taking a couple damage boosts and are dealing with those little wall spider enemies, which they can just reverse direction on the wall whenever they feel like. And so if you're trying to go around them, not only do they do that, but they also spit at you. So trying to get around them without getting hit is really difficult. Now, I know I told you that there's no bench in this segment. And it looks like I'm lying right now, but I'm really not. This bench doesn't heal you. It's just a trap that they set for you, which, I don't know. They trap you and then just leave you and you can get out. They might as well really not have bothered. If you have any donations?
We don't currently have any, but we are only $100.20 from $13,000. And you know what day we are today? Friday the 13th. So what about donating a little bit more before 12 a.m.?
Yeah, let's see if we can get to that 13. Okay, so these guys do 2 damage. I think I need more of that. These guys do 2 damage with their attacks, so you want to not get hit by their swinging attack at all. You see me damage boost into them to only take the 1 damage. Looking at my geo, I can see that I'm going to come up a little bit short, but I'm in the acceptable range. Alright, that guy gave me good luck. This guy can be a jerk. Alright. I want to try to not get hit here so I can... Yes, so now we can deboost the last Devout. If I get hit by him, I die and have to do this section over again, though, so I'm going to try to avoid that. Okay, we're good. So yeah, no boss before the 3rd Dreamer, but honestly, I would rather fight a boss than have to do Beast Den in the speedrun. That area has killed a lot of good pace runs. Okay, so 3rd Dreamer down. All that is left is to go back to the Black Egg Temple where the seal on Hollow Knight has been broken, and we're going to do the final fight. So the amount of geo we need for the last stag station is 250. We're a little bit short at 240, which means we can't go just directly there. But there's some money nearby here that we're going to pick up. As long as you stay close. Yeah, okay. So now we're good. That guy's kind of scary. So when you hit him, like the purpose of trying to hit him as we jump over him is that it triggers him to actually like attack at you. But if you hit him too early, he doesn't charge. And he can actually like dash backwards and block your path. What are we doing? Don't want to fall there. Oh, a thing I didn't mention until right now. When you activate the toll there, you can actually, and I have no idea why this works, but this was found by Scurry. You can look down for just a brief moment, and for some reason, it just makes everything spawn faster. Usually the animation there is a lot slower than that. Okay, so we're going to be making use of our Super Dash to clear these last sections, get to the Hollow Knight. I'm going to take the bench before Hollow Knight because there is a game crash I've seen when loading Hollow Knight's room. It's one of those things that I've been running this game for like 3 months now, and I'd never seen it, and I saw it mentioned in like Discord recently. Like nothing's changed, we're running on the same patch, and like I just saw that it was a thing, and then it immediately happened to me. So now I'm not gonna take any chances. We'll just rest here. That way we don't have to come all the way back here in case this doesn't load properly. There's no way. Okay. Oops. Okay, whoops. I had my, like, I was just getting ready to, like, restart it. It doesn't normally take that long to load. Okay, this fight, there's a lot of different patterns Hollow Knight can do. In the first phase, it's kind of limited. We're hoping for him to dash so we can get double hits on him with the fireball. Like that. And then the thing we definitely don't want to see him do is parry. Like that. That pattern is okay, but that's not really what we're looking for. We haven't seen someone with stagger since Hornet. Didn't see him. But this boss in the first half of the fight, we can actually stagger. He's one of the bosses that's like eligible when you get enough hits in combo. Alright, so when he's stabbing himself like this, you actually can only do 1 damage with every attack. So, like, what you kind of do there doesn't really matter. You want to try to build up your soul. But, like, standing on there and wailing on him trying to do damage doesn't actually help you. Oh, I didn't get it. You can actually, so my goal there was to cancel the last scream. If he roars and hits you and like knocks you, or like if you fall into him after he roars, it cancels it and you can get the, whatever, you can do damage right away. But that's it, that's Hollow Knight. The time is going to be when it fades to black. There are multiple endings to this game. We're going for the standard or bad ending and the time. But yeah, obviously run didn't go quite as I wanted. I was really happy with the Watcher Knights fight, but really this game is just so much fun to speedrun. I haven't been running it long, but I wanted to show it off, just because this game really had an impact on me. I enjoyed it a lot casually and just had to speedrun it. The community around it is awesome. The speedrun's awesome. So if you've played this game, the resources for it are great. There's a Discord for it that you can get a lot more information in. So yeah, I just want to thank everybody thank Calathon for allowing me to be here, and thank my couch for the awesome backup commentary. It went pretty well. And yeah, that's it for me.
All right, thank you for the game, Fastat. That was incredible. It gives me shivers every time. Look at that skills. Netscape.